Yes, sir. What's up, CGS? Good morning. I'm good, man. Just relaxing a little for a while. I'm got a road trip today with my dad, my nephew, and baby Z. We're heading to New Jersey to Six Flags. About a call it 7 hours. Probably take us 8 with the rest breaks. I got a hotel with swimming pool. We're gonna stay for 3 nights. We're just gonna drive there today, check in the room, just relax, and then we'll be in the park Saturday and Sunday, and then check out Monday. We'll leave early Monday because, again, I gotta do all the driving and stuff like that. I think that's fair. I mean, it would have probably been a good idea to leave super early today, and then we could have enjoyed the park today as well. But the journey. How does the saying go? You gotta enjoy the journey. The journey is more important than the destination. But that's kind of hard to tell that to kids. You know how kids are. Are we there yet? Are we there yet? They wanna not really enjoy the rides, but hopefully they could get comfortable because I know they're getting big. Last time we drove to Massachusetts, I think it was last year or the year before. I think 2 years ago. Anyway, yeah, they were able to relax. Like, we put the seats down, and they were basically their bodies were in the trunk, kind of. But my dad's coming this time. Well, actually, there was 3 of us last time, and we still made it happen. But I think we took my car last time. This time we're taking my mom's car. So I don't know if the seats operate the same. Oh yeah, that's cool, man. Yeah, gotta keep the lady happy. Something that I'm not too good at. That sounds kind of crazy, but yeah, dating is it's not easy. It takes energy, time, effort, commitment, and I mean, for me, it's a roller coaster. One day I'm like, not even one day, I could be fine for a couple hours. Like, man, I'm enjoying the single life. And then, an hour later, I'm like, or 2 hours later, I'm like, dang, I'm getting old, time to settle down. But I figure I'm 40. I mean, I don't want to, I got to be careful what I say because, they say words are spells. And I don't want to say something that might, I don't want to manifest anything that's going to keep me single forever or too much longer. But I just think I need a little time, not too much time. I think 2026 I'll be ready, like mid 2026. I just got to get my finances in order. And you're a man, you could understand that more than a woman, because if you tell a lady that, a lady doesn't really, I mean, their mindset is different. Some women think more like men, and some men think more like a lady. But I'm the type of man that I gotta have I don't saying I gotta be loaded, but after you hit a few stumbling blocks, the last couple years, I hit a few stumbling blocks, and it just kind of set me back. Everything's a lesson, though. You know what I mean? We all do dumb shit. We make mistakes, but sometimes those expensive mistakes set you up for for a victory later down the road. You know what I mean? Because yeah, they weren't cheap, but they could prevent me from a more substantial cost later down the road. So that's how you got to look at it. There's always a positive way to look at any situation. It happens to the best of us, you know? And it doesn't make sense to keep beating yourself up and be on that, oh, I'm a woulda, coulda, shoulda ass mofo, but I thought you knew that though for sure type shit. What's up, rocks? Don't be fooled by the rocks that I got. I'm still Trucker Z from the block. Used to have a little, now I have a little bit more. Nah, but fireside chats by the Trucker Z. Fireside? What's a fireside? I don't know what's a fireside, but yeah. I don't know, guys. All I know is I'm on vacation for about a week. I know dispatch is gonna want me to go back as soon as possible, but I've been out for 2 months. They can't rush me. Um, I think 10 days makes sense. That's 2 work weeks. He did say I could stay home until September. I told him my daughter goes back to school on the 14th. I mean the 4th of September. He said I could stay out, until she goes back, but I think that'd be pushing it. Cause what's today? Today's the 14th, right? I think the 14th. Oh, we're going to Six Flags in New Jersey for a few nights. We're leaving today. We're coming back Monday. Me, my dad, baby Z, and my nephew. I invited all my kids, but they all work. And I feel bad because I never give them ample time to make plans. And every summer, I say, "Oh, next year I'm gonna do a better job giving you guys a efficient notice," and I never do. But I'm random. I don't be planning these things. It's just like I be thinking about it, and I be like, "Nah, I'm gonna save the money. I'm gonna keep it simple this summer. I gotta make up for all those hits I've been taking." But then it gets close to the end of the summer, and I be like, "Nah, screw that. I gotta do something with the kids." And usually, baby Z is the one who gets to go now because she doesn't work. Even though she made me feel like she really didn't want to go, she was like, "Oh, today's the last day of the fair. I'm supposed to go with my cousins." And, I was trying to act like it didn't bother me. But deep inside, I'm like, dang, like you chilled, you had the whole summer to chill with your cousins. Like, I literally been gone for the whole summer. I'm like back towards the end of the summer, and you can't take a 3-day trip with me. And then I told her, I was like, "It's your choice." And then she was like, "Okay, I'll cancel the fare." So then I booked the hotel room, and then she texted me like 5 minutes later, "Did you book the room yet?" And I felt bad because it's like, why would she ask me that? That made me feel like if I didn't book, I did already book it. But that made me feel like if I didn't book it already, she would have canceled. But she was like, "Okay." And then she's like, "Guess what, Pa?" And I'm like, "What?" She's like, "Oh, Nickelodeon is in New Jersey." Something like, I'm like, is it in the park? She's like, "I don't know." But yeah, I mean, she's 11. She'll be 12 next, November. It's only a matter of time where she's gonna, wanna. I hope I'm wrong, but that's usually what happens. They hit that age where they rather be with their friends and their family. And I'm like, but I'm gonna have to talk to her and her mom. Like, look, she needs to understand when I'm in town, she needs to chill with me. Hope Z is wrong too. Yeah, thanks. I don't want to force her to be with me, but it's like, she's my last kid. You know what I mean? All my kids are grown, and it's like she keeps me. I don't want to say going, but like I look forward to like chilling with her and going on these little adventures. She's like the main reason, not the main reason. I don't want to how do I say it without? She's like one of the main reasons I come back to Buffalo. You know what I mean? So you guys know I'm not gonna be in Buffalo forever. I almost moved to Texas. I think I told you guys this. I had a roommate ready to rent me a room in Texas and all that. I applied for a job, but they didn't hire me because I had a little stupid minor retarded accident at my pre two two companies ago, and they said I have to wait another basically. I got like another 14 months, and then it'll fall off. That'll hit the 3 year mark, and then I could reapply. So, um, yeah, I was gonna basically fly to New York to visit my family every whatever 6 weeks or so, kind of like what I do now. But I drive back home, and that company I was gonna make enough money where I could cover renting a room and flying to visit my family and still come out on top. But it didn't happen the way I expected. But it's good though because I guess everything happens for a reason. I don't know. All right, I think I missed some comments. I don't know, Rocks, because I just, I, I don't know. I don't have no answer, bro, because I'm a freaking slacker and I'm not good at planning and I'm not organized. I'm not. What else you want me to say? I suck at being a dad. Is that what it could be? I don't know. I suck at life. Jeez, Rocks. You're not helping with these questions over here, buddy. You should have said something like, "It's okay, Trucker Z. Next year, you'll do better at planning." And then I would have said something like, "You know what, Rocks? You're right, man. Thanks for, you know, having faith in me that I'm going to do better. Don't make me feel bad after the damage is already done. Yuck." Thanks, Rocks. Now I'm sad. Why you want words of affirmation? That's what Alexa is for. I don't have Alexa. I got Chat GPT now, though. I've been having it for about a month. And it comes in handy. I know you guys been having it for a while. Yeah, I've been going, I've been using it for quite a few things lately, so it's pretty cool. I try getting the weather. I try getting the weather in Jackson, New Jersey to see, because we were gonna either go to Cedar Point in Ohio or New Jersey, depending on who had better weather. Because I know it's been raining a lot in the Midwest. I know Rox could freaking attest to that. He lives in Ohio. So I was like, you know what? I checked the weather in Jersey, and it was gonna be beautiful. It's gonna be beautiful this weekend. So I was like, I didn't even check Cedar Point because I never been to the Six Flags in Jersey. So I do like checking out new places, and I want my kids to be like, yo, my dad took me here, my dad took me there. I don't want my kids to be like, oh, my dad took me to Cedar Point 5 times. We used to always go like, nah, like my dad. The next one on my radar is the one in Illinois. I took not all my kids, obviously, because they work, but we've been to the one in Massachusetts, the one obviously near my house. Now we're going to the one in New Jersey, and then the other one on my radar is the one in Illinois, but that's like a 10 or 11 hour drive. So, yeah, that would be a tough one. I think that one I would probably want to, I guess I could drive straight there. But that would be like, you guys have to get up, because you guys know I'm up at like 3, 4 a.m. So we're going to drive to Illinois maybe next year or the one after that. Like, these kids got to be ready to drive like at literally like 4 a.m. Because I could drive from 4. Because basically if I'm up at 4, obviously my energy is going to start going down, you know what I mean, as time goes. Like right now I'm supposed to be relaxing and conserve. I am relaxing. I'm just talking too much shit. No doubt, Rocks. No, it's all good, Rocks. I'm not really sad, but I mean, I'm trying, like maybe I can make up. I was thinking about doing stuff. This was kind of what I had in mind. I was thinking about inviting, like, I got kids from two different BMs. So I was thinking about inviting my oldest daughter from my first BM and then my oldest daughter from my second BM on a trip, just us three. Maybe hop on a plane, go to like DR or California, Alaska. You know what I mean? Something, I don't know, like they're grown, so amusement parks are always nice, but I don't know, like, you know what I mean? Like, I guess we could go to a beach. I mean, if you're not going to an amusement park or a beach, I mean, what are you gonna do? I mean, I guess there's trails, there's hiking, there's jet skiing, there's boats, there's zip lining. I've never been zip lining. I mean, restaurants, obviously. Restaurants and bars take the majority of people's times when they're on vacation. I don't drink, so at least I don't have, it's kind of like I got an extra 50% of time to explore, which is a good thing. Um, but yeah, maybe I could invite the two oldest ones. We could take a trip, and then I'll invite my second oldest from each baby moms, and then take a trip with them like the next year. And then baby Z is going to probably join one of those. Because baby Z usually gets to go on everything, like all the trips, because she doesn't go to school, but I can't afford, you know what I mean? Basically, the reason I want to do it is it'll be easier to plan and it'll be cheaper because I can't, I just don't have the money to invite, to pay for all these flights and get two hotel rooms and all that. I mean, I guess it's possible if I saved now. I can make it like a 2-year plan because it'd be the same thing if I was gonna take two kids next year and then two kids the following year. That's like 4 years, right? And I guess I gotta just start putting money aside for a trip and planning it the right way. Like, hey, in 2 years, give them a 2 years notice, right? Like, look, I'm putting this money to the side. In 2 years, we're going to whatever, California, or I don't think we're allowed in Cuba anymore, but Belize is nice. I'm pretty sure that's where TDS went. Maybe Panama, Costa Rica. Trips like that in the Caribbean that are not too far, so the tickets won't kill you. The distance won't kill you. You went to Belize, right, TDS? Is that how you say it? You been to Costa Rica? I've never been there. All right, thanks, Rocks. You can help me plan it out. We'll see. I'm not. Again, I don't travel much, but my kids are still fairly young, so the time is now before they start having their own kids, and then it'll definitely be harder. Then, I gotta work and I got a kid, so my oldest daughter been trying to have a kid for a while, but she haven't. I don't know who can't have kids. I don't know if it's her or her man or what's going on, but I feel bad a little bit, but not too much because she's still fairly young. She's 23, and she's still getting things in older. I don't want her to get too old though, because I know women, the younger they are, I guess, the better. I mean, there's pros and cons to everything, obviously, but I know when the older a lady gets, the more complicated having a kid would be. But I think, in a couple more years, it'll be more ideal. She's 23. And even if she waited till like 26, 27, I think that'll be the sweet spot, because then that gives her time to get her finances in order, to become more mature. She's mature for her age, don't get me wrong, but um, she's doing good though. All my kids are doing pretty good. My oldest daughter got her own house already. She at 23, so I'm proud of that. Um, I take some credit. I mean, she's the one working and paying and everything, but I definitely feel like I showed her the ropes. You know what I mean? So I feel good about it, and and I feel like it's gonna pay off in the long run. I wanted her to get a duplex. What's up, Q? I wanted her to get a duplex because a duplex is more like an investment compared to a primary single residence. But it was cheaper for her to get a single, and it's still gonna benefit her because she could always pyramid up. She could always take out a loan later with that money, put on another house. She could sell it, do a 1031. She could do Airbnbs because she's near Niagara Falls. Airbnb, I think, would make sense, but she got a lot of dogs. I don't know how many dogs she got left, but that's kind of what I had in mind for her, because it's only her and her man. If they got rid of the dogs, I mean, they don't have to get rid of all of their dogs, but if I was her, what I would do is try to like make it an Airbnb, like a short-term rental or a mid-term rental, and then I would rent it out, and then the days that they not staying there, just stay with a family member. I'm pretty sure her mother-in-law would let them stay at her house. They could stay at my mom's house. Well, I know my daughter's allowed at my mom's house. I don't know if her man could stay there, but I mean, he could stay at his house, his mom's house. She could stay at my mom's house and get some income. You know what I mean? Even if it's, I don't know, 2 weeks out the month. Again, these are just ideas. I don't know if it's people are even looking for a place in that area, but it is near Niagara Falls. So I would imagine they got some tourist attractions over there. But even if you did it for 1 week out the month, let's say for instance 1 week out the month she could generate, I don't know, that's 7 days. If she could get, what makes sense for an Airbnb? 150. I think 150 makes sense because a hotel is gonna cost you 200. A cheap hotel will cost you 100. So we'll call it 150. So if she could get 150 a night for 7 nights, 150 times 7, what's that? 700 plus 350, that's 1050. We'll call it 1,000 for easy math. If she could get $1,000 a month, basically, for that 1 week that she's renting her property out, the Airbnb or whatever, that's $1,000 a month towards her mortgage. Her mortgage is probably, well, all in. I would imagine, I don't know, we'll call it 1,200. Shit, that's freaking smart right there. If her mortgage is 1,200, she's collecting 1,000 and renting out her place for 1 week. She's only putting in 200, to basically live in her house for the other 3 weeks. That's a come up, and she got no kids, so it makes it more feasible. And again, and there's other people who just rent out a room in their house too. That's another option. I don't know how she feels about that, especially a man too, right? Like if you have it's all about sacrifices. I know that's what it boils down to. And you got to get out your comfort zone and get ahead of the game. That could be an option too, like rent a room out to somebody. You know what I mean? Either that could be part-time, full-time. Actually, the Airbnb is a good tax haven, Q, especially for like full-time. If you have a full-time W-2, like that's like the main purpose of Airbnb. But Airbnbs are definitely becoming harder, and they're coming out with more regulations, and it's definitely not a lot of competition now, but it just depends where you're at. You know what I mean? Different market, different types of Airbnbs work for different reasons, you know? Like, I mean, if you're in a town where there's a lot of medical going on or a lot of colleges, right? You're going to have students interested in you know what I mean, that want to rent from you, or nurses. If you are in an industry where like there's a lot of plants, like where I was going to rent a room from a guy in Texas, there's a lot of plants around there, like oil plants and cryogenetics, and you know, all these factories, and there's people who work there like seasonal, you know what I mean? So you got people who come in for whatever, not even seasonal, they might even rent the whole year. But yeah, Airbnb is definitely something I never really got into. I think because two reasons: being lazy, that's always the bottom line to most of all of our issues, and then I just kind of wanted something like that I knew worked. You know what I mean? I always had like that. What makes this is what you got to do with Airbnb. The best Airbnbs are the ones where you have a good exit strategy, right? Like, if you buy a property, will it work as a short term, mid-term, or just a regular conventional, you know, tenant, long-term tenant? So if when you run your numbers, if it could work, basically worst case scenario would be I'm gonna rent it just like a regular tenant who's gonna live there for multiple years. That'd be the least profitable, obviously the least amount of headaches. So a lot of people want to go that route. But will it also work as a midterm or a short-term rental? And you know, you could play with it. You know what I mean? You could try it out. You could, you know, or it could be a duplex. You could have downstairs as a short-term rental and upstairs as a long-term family. You know, there's a lot you could do with real estate. That's why I love real estate, and it's always gonna be my main bread and butter. You know what I mean? Like, you know, it's my thing. You know, I'm still learning a lot. You know, I'm definitely far from an expert, but I know enough about it, and I definitely see that there's some opportunity, there's some ideas that I got, and I know they're still viable. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot you could do with houses, man. That's what, again, I love them for that. But I just gotta, you know, I gotta get stop pussyfooting around and stop talking about it and being about it. You know what I mean? Stop coming on here and talking all this BS to you guys. And instead of telling people my ideas, show them what I did after it's done. You know what I mean? That makes more sense. But I don't think, you know, I guess I'm at a point now where, like, I don't mind. I don't want to give like too much details. I give some details of what I want to do, but I'm not really saying what I'm working on at the moment. You know what I mean? I might give you hints now and still talk about it, but I'm not. I noticed I don't. I mean, if I want some feedback, I would, you know, message you guys directly for some advice or something like that. But on these live streams, like I said, you're gonna, from now moving forward, you're gonna hear me like talk about some of these things sometimes, but it's not gonna be like, hey, I'm working on this and I'm in the process of doing that and blah blah blah. I'm gonna try. You guys know I'm a chatterbox. I be saying too much. I get that from my mama. Shout out to my mom. I gotta see her today. I haven't spoken to her in a while. Anyway, guys, the chatterbox is gonna turn off the chatterbox. About to get out of here. I'm gonna relax for another 20-30 minutes or so, and then do what I gotta do. I gotta pick up my dad at 8:30, pick up baby Z at 9. My nephew's at my dad's, so that should be easy. Yeah, there's I'm not sure how that works with the 1099 Airbnbs. Like I said, I never did any of that rocks, but it's definitely in the back of my mind, and we'll see. Like I said, I will show you. I'm gonna whenever any of my ideas are locked in place and they're operating, and it's sealed, then I wouldn't mind telling you guys later because it's done. It's already there. You know what I mean? I just don't want to talk about anything that I really wanted that I'm in the middle of for a few different reasons. One, if it doesn't go through, then I feel bad. And then people start questioning me, like, oh, what happened with this? What happened with that? And then I'd be like, I don't really like, if I fail at something, I mean, you got to let it out, get it off your chest, but I'd rather keep that between a couple, maybe closer friends, you know what I mean? Not social media friends, compared, because, you gotta let it out too, but I don't know. That's one reason. Then I they say, when you talk about it, it's like kind of stops it from happening. What's up, Almost? I'm out of here, bro. All right, that's pretty cool, TDS. Have fun, bro. All right, guys, peace out. I'm out of here. Thanks for listening to my randomness. Take care, Q. DJ Q, guys. I didn't know he's a DJ from Germany, longtime friend of mine. Peace.